getting another 10 points. Norwalk Gold got another one in that high basket. They've gotten, it looks like 3 of them in there already as they reach into the submersible and are going for yet another one. Samples that are either yellow or your alliance's color can go into the baskets. Does not matter which. Like we had a blue sample or a specimen go flying up in the air when they tried to grab it, but the human players grabbed it and readjusted. The specimens are able to be placed on the walls, and then the human players can move them as necessary. Hear a lot of communication over on the Red Alliance, trying to line up to those samples and then pick them up once they get turned into specimens. That's allowed them to get 2 on the load chamber, but unfortunately they are behind since their partner is stuck on their back right now. Blue Alliance keeps scoring in tandem. 1 robot on specimens, 1 robot on samples. Looks like we might be seeing a hang attempt right now. Norwalk Gold's got their arm up on that bar. 3 seconds left. And controllers down. Great job, teams. Looks like we had both of our Blue Alliance robots achieve a level 1 ascent by touching that bar. They don't have to be off the ground, but they get 3 points just for touching it. And over on Red, Metallum Motorum is not touching that bar, but they do get parking points for being in that observation zone, and that's also worth 3 points. Saw quite a few specimens scored on the load chamber in that match. Haven't seen that a lot this season, but Red did 3 of them and Blue did 1. Just shows that there might be more strategy going on in this game than what initially meets the eye. Looks like we're just discussing with the Blue Alliance some rules regarding how those specimens can be picked up by the human player. Just gotta make sure there's not a robot in that area when they get picked up. And if they get knocked out of the field, depending on where they land, they can be picked up and reattached to the wall to be used again by the robot. If they fall out the front or the back of the field, though, that is not allowed for them to pick them up again. All right, looks like our scores are ready for that match. Let's turn our eyes up to the board. Sample is in. Let's see where this one went. Looks like it's going to go the way of the Blue Alliance with a score of 115-31. A great match that pushes Norwalk Robot Warriors Gold into first place for the league and for today's meet. All right, while we were discussing some of the rules for that last match, our teams over here on Field 2, we're getting ready for Qualification Match 4. This is the last match where all of our teams will be playing for the first time today. After this, we'll start seeing repeats on the field. And as we see these teams playing more and more matches, you'll see them improve throughout the day as they learn more about what their robots are capable of. Let's meet our teams on the Red Alliance. We're at the front of the field. We have our team that was in first place coming into today's meet, which is Team 13085, the Bionic Dutch. And their partners, one of 2 rookie teams in attendance today, is Team 25957, the Quantum Igniters. Representing the Blue Alliance, let's see if the audience can match their enthusiasm. We have Team 16736, Atomic Narwhals. And last but not least is their partner, Team 6147, Nubotics. A lot of cheering already. I want to see you guys keep it up throughout the match. Red Alliance, are you ready? Awesome. Blue Alliance, are you ready? All right. Our scorekeeper is not ready, unfortunately. That's all right. We haven't done a league meet here before, so we're fixing some of the technical issues. We'll have it ready in just a sec. All right, looks like we're all good to go now. So let's begin our fourth qualification match in 3, 2, 1, go. I see 3 robots moving right now. Great improvement from our last league meet. We've got 1 in the high basket for red. A robot parked in the observation zone for red as well. Looks like the narwhals are trying to push some of those samples into the observation zone and have grabbed a second specimen. If they get this, it could be the second one on the high chamber. Going for it. Looks like they've got it on there. That's 2 for the Blue Alliance in this autonomous period. Looks like they're content to park now.
Drivers, pick up your controllers. 3, 2, 1.
Blue Alliance exits the autonomous period with a decent lead, but it looks like red has a lot of potential for scoring. We saw that when Bionic Dutch got one in the high basket. Narwhal's got those 2 specimens, but it looks like their strategy may have shifted now to the high basket here in Teleop, where they already have one within the first 15 seconds of the period. They've gotten another one already. They use a 2-stage system where they grab the samples off the ground with a claw and then put them into another claw, which is attached to a lift mechanism. It's a very unique design, but it looks like it's worked well for them so far in this match. The Bionic Dutch, they're also doing the basket, but for the Red Alliance, they've got 2 in there. They use a different mechanism. They use a rotating star system that sucks them up, and then they just dump them into that high basket. Just shows that there's a lot of different ways to solve a solution, and these teams have exemplified that. Nubotics and Quantum Igniters also have very different designs. Looks like Nubotics is at the back of the field right now, trying to use their rotating intake system to suck up a yellow sample. Then they've got that whole assembly on a pivoting arm that can reach up into the baskets. Looks like Quantum Igniters might be going for an early hang, but it sounds like they're kind of stuck right now. I can hear a gear skipping on their robot. Looks like their partner, Bionic Dutch, is trying to reach around them so that they can grab more samples, but they're getting each other's way. I can tell they're communicating with each other, trying to help them out and get more points. As we enter the end game, Bionic Dutch gets one more in the high basket, while the Narwhals are reaching into the sub, trying to get some more last-minute samples or specimens to aid their score. They've got a lead right now, but they've got to hold that if they want to win this match. One more in the high basket for blue. Red's going for one as well. Bionic Dutch get it in there. We've got 10 seconds left. Let's see if we get any hangs or other last-minute scoring attempts. Narwhals and Dutch each going for one more. Narwhals is going to try to get it. And as time expires, 2 of our robots get parked. Great job, teams. A lot of scoring in the high baskets by both alliances, but the difference in this match might be those 5 blue specimens on the high chamber. Red wasn't able to get any of those. It's a very difficult task. Also been told that we will only be playing one more qualification match after this one before our lunch break. So if your team plays in qualification match 6 or later, you are good to go ahead and get lunch. Our last match will be qualification match 5 over on field 1. Sounds like we have some more rules discussion going on amongst our team of referees. Again, there is a very detailed competition manual that explains all of these rules. It's around 150 pages long, so teams and referees alike have had to read through it so they know how to approach this year's game and avoid getting penalties, which give points to the opposing alliance. Like most years, there's two kinds of fouls in this year's game. There's minor fouls, which add 5 points to the opposing alliance's score, and those are usually for minor incidents, things that don't really affect gameplay that much. There's also major fouls, which award 15 points to the opposing alliance. Those are for more obvious and dangerous breakings of the rules that could potentially harm other robots or might be considered defensive actions that prohibit the other alliance from scoring. And those are things we really don't want to see teams do, but we haven't seen very many of those throughout the season, so our teams are doing a great job of avoiding penalties. All right, it sounds like our scores have been submitted. Let's take a look at the board. Sounds like we're still discussing some of those penalties. We've seen some unique circumstances today, so we want to make sure we get all of the rulings correct so that these matches are being decided properly. Sounds like this penalty was due to one of the Red Alliance robots grabbing a Blue Alliance sample at the end of the match. A fairly minor instance, a minor foul will be assessed. Now our scores are ready, so let's take a look at the board. Don't think that foul will affect the result of this match. It's going to go to the Blue Alliance with a score of 129 to 62. Great telly up for the Blue Alliance. That foul did not make a difference, but we wanted to get the score correct. Moves the Narwhals to second place for today's event and for the league rank, which is that number shown in yellow next to their meat rank. All right, our teams are set up for our last qualification match before the lunch break. I've been informed that we will be resuming at noon. Okay, we will be resuming at noon. So the qualification match 6 needs to be ready to go at noon. But this is our last one for now. So let's meet our teams. On the Red Alliance, at the front, we have team 24438, Create the Future. Their alliance partner has made it onto the field for their second match. It's team 18527, the PCM Alchemists. On the Blue Alliance, also playing in their second match, is team 22189, Fire. And playing for the first time today is team 18397, Aztecs. Our FTA has confirmed that all the teams are ready. I don't think I need to ask again. They've got a lot of energy. Our scorekeeper is ready. Audience, are you ready for this last match? All right, after this, we'll go have some lunch. But for now, let's get going in 3, 2, 1, go. I see motion from 2 robots now. Looks like Aztecs went for one, that low basket. It fell out, though, and it's not in the net zone either. Create the Future is going for one in that low basket, trying to spit it out. They couldn't get it. Fire went for one in that chamber as well. Got a lot of scoring attempts, but none quite successful yet. Aztecs has their arm on that blue bar, though. That's going to get them 3 points for a level 1 ascent as we end the autonomous period.
Drivers, pick up your controllers. 3, 2, 1.
teleop has begun. I'm sure we'll see a lot more scoring now that teams have manual control of their robots instead of solely relying on pre-programmed inputs. Aztecs have been very good so far this season at scoring those specimens and samples. Looks like they're going the specimen route in this match as their human player places a specimen into the observation zone. Their partner's going for those baskets. Looks like Fire is trying to grab one with that big arm that they have, but they're just not quite transferring it right now. Looks like Red might be having a few minor difficulties as well. I see a servo wire hanging out on the PCM Alchemist. We'll have to see if that's going to prevent them from scoring or if they're still able to get it into one of those baskets. As their partner Create the Future also has a sample in their robot, and they're able to get it out now. It's in the net zone, which is worth 2 points. That's that taped off area underneath the baskets. Air has gotten that sample into their big arm system now. They're raising it up high, going for that high basket. There they go. They've got it dropped in there now. That's 8 points for Blue. A lot of Blue's points right now are coming from those specimens. Aztecs just got their third one of the match, and they're going to grab a fourth as we approach 45 seconds left in the match. They've got it in their claw. They're going for it, and they've got it clipped on there. That's going to be 40 points, 10 for each of those specimens that they have. Aztecs switching strategies now, going over to the high basket. Not quite as many points as a specimen, but a little bit of an easier and just one of the great examples of strategy in this year's game. There's more than one task to do, so teams have to be smart about how they approach it. Our first team is going into the submersible for samples. That's the Aztecs going for a yellow one. While we've got an attempted hang for Red. That's Create the Future getting up off the ground. That'll get them 15 points if they stay up in the air. Blue gets one more into the high basket. 3, 2, 1. And as time expires, it looks like that one Red robot came down off the bar. We'll have to see what our referees decide on that. Our referees have been quite busy today with rules and regulations, and it looks like that's going to continue in this match, as that robot was clearly up off the ground, but then as the match ended, it was not. I'm not sure how that'll get scored, but I'm sure that they're well aware of the rules and will make the proper call. And for anyone that didn't already hear, this is our last match before lunch break. So qualification match 6 will be at noon. So teams get a half hour to go get lunch. The concession stands are up the stairs and in the atrium area. Feel free to get some of those before they close at 1 and before we return to our matches at noon. Something I would also like to mention before we head to lunch is that in this same building, we have an FLL qualifier event going on. That is First Lego League. That is for elementary and middle school students to compete in. So if you haven't seen First Lego League before, I would recommend you go check it out in the new part of Valley Southwoods. We've got a lot of teams here. It's really cool to see what they get to do with their robots. A lot of First Tech Challenge students were also in First Lego League at one point, and it's a great learning experience for teams. So I'd really recommend you go check it out and cheer on those teams and everything they've accomplished. All right, sounds like our refs have made the call. Our scores are available now. Let's see them on the board. Last match before lunch has concluded. Looks like our sample's going in. Let's see the color. It's going to go to Blue. Score of 83-15. Great job from the Blue Alliance. Looks like that hang on Red unfortunately did not count since the robot was not in the air when the buzzer sounded. Moves the Aztecs and Fire, both into top 5 for the league. And once again, we are officially on our lunch break now. So if you are hungry, go get some food now, because in a half hour, we will be back here on the fields, and you will not want to miss any of these matches. So go get something now while you've got the time.
Check. Check, check. Check, check. Check 2, 3, 4, 5.
All right, welcome back, everyone, from our lunch break. I know that went by very quickly, but we are all ready to go with our matches. Matches will end up going by very quickly. We've got about 20 more to go, so let's get started with qualification match number 6. Let's introduce the teams on the Red Alliance. We're at the front. We have team 18200 Martinsdale St. Mary's Techno Devils. And their alliance partner from West Des Moines is team 22187 Air. Representing blue, we have team 16736 Atomic Narwhals. And their alliance partner is team 12783 Norwalk Robo Warriors Purple. Like our FTA has been verifying that the teams are ready. I'm getting the thumbs up. Red Alliance, are you ready? Blue Alliance, are you ready? Come on. Blue Alliance, are you ready? There we go. Our scorekeeper is ready. So let's begin our first match back in 3, 2, 1, go. All right, we are back. Robots are on the field once again. Norwalk's got one in the high basket. Their partner's got one on the high chamber. Martinsdale gets one in that low basket as Air gets one on the high chamber. We got a lot of scoring from both alliances. One of the best autos we've seen all day. Looks like Narwhals is going for a second one on that high chamber. Air for the opposing alliance has gotten an ascent. Narwhals has got it on. Are they going to go for more? Looks like they're content to just park in that observation zone as auto comes to a close.
Drivers, pick up your controllers. 3, 2, 1.
Both alliances already over 30 points as we enter the teleop period. We've got teams jockeying for those samples at the front of the field. Looks like Air is going for those yellow neutral ones, while Narwhals is going to grab those blue ones, have their human player turn them into specimens by adding that clip, and then place them on that high chamber. Their partner, Norwalk Robo Warriors Purple, they're choosing to do the other main method of scoring, and that's placing samples into the high basket. They use a rotating intake mechanism to suck them in, and then a separate lift system, which is going up now, to place them into that high basket. Very nice robot. Red Alliance, though, they're capable of a lot of scoring. I just saw Air get one in that low basket. That's the third one already, and they've just picked up another one. They're heading over to that basket, and they've spit it out for a fourth one into that low basket. Those are worth quite a few points. Not quite as many as the high basket, but they do add up over time the more your team gets. We've got two teams reaching into the submersible right now. One for red, one for blue. Looks like Air has sucked up a yellow sample, going to do what they do best and place in that low basket. Blue answers with one in the high basket, though. That's worth 8 points. Low basket ones are worth just 4. It is a little easier to reach, though, so that can be a little quicker method of scoring. Like Norwalk, they're going to go towards that high one. They've got a lot in there already. I believe that's number 6 for the Blue Alliance, giving them a pretty sizable lead right now. But as we all know, there's a lot of ways to score, and hanging is worth a lot of points at the end of the match. So if any teams pull that off, it could make the difference. As Endgame begins, I see Norwalk going for yet another one in the high basket, while their partner also has one. Narwhals is going to show up right after Norwalk and get their own in that high basket. Looks like Air is done scoring in the low basket. They've decided to hang. They are clearly up off the ground. We'll have to see if that robot stays, though. We saw one come down earlier. Martinsdale going for one, maybe on the low chamber. It's kind of in a weird position on their claw. Time's about to run out. We'll have to see what they can do. Controllers down. An excellent match for our Blue Alliance. Very high score currently. Those scores are not finalized. We'll have to see if any last-minute changes are added, but once they are, you folks will see the scores up on the board. All right, looks like our scores are ready for that match. Let's take a look on the board. It's going to be a very high one. All right, sample is in. Let's see the color. Looks like this one's going to go blue, but what's the score? 176 to 66. 15 points of fouls benefiting the Blue Alliance. Just short of the state record, but a very, very high score that propels our Blue Alliance robots to the top of the league. Wonderfully executed match in both auto and teleop for Blue. Now that we're through our lunch break, we're going to start flying through these matches very quickly. We're on qualification match 7 now, so let's meet our teams that are currently setting up on red. At the front of the field, we have team 13085, the Bionic Dutch. And their alliance partner is team 24358, Metallum Ultorum. Representing blue, we have team 10435, Circuit Breakers. And their partner is team 14172, Disco Duckbots. All right, looks like our teams are set up. They've got their autonomous program selected if they're choosing to run one. They do not have to. They can just choose to run a teleop instead. Looks like we're just verifying that all of our teams are ready. FTA has called for hands off. Red Alliance, are you ready? Metallum Ultorum, you ready? Okay, just want a thumbs up. Blue Alliance, are you ready? Great. Our scorekeeper is ready, so let's begin the match in 3, 2, 1, go. Did not hear a buzzer, but the clock has started. All of our teams currently moving in auto. I don't see any motion for duckbots yet, but Circuit Breakers moving very quickly, shoving those samples into the observation zone where their human players turn them into specimens. Looks like they're stuck on the wall again, though. Bionic Dutch did score for the Red Alliance. They got one in the high basket while their partner parked in the observation zone. That's giving Red a narrow lead as Circuit Breakers gets moving now. They were unfortunately unable to score that sample. It looks like they're just content to park. 3, 2, 1, and teleop has begun. Having some issues with our sound system, but we have entered the teleop period now. Teams are going to have to keep an eye on that clock throughout this match. You might notice that each team has 1 to 2 drivers in addition to another person. That is their drive coach who tells them what to do. They have to keep track of what's going on in all areas of the field, tell their drivers what to do. Circuit Breakers on blue, they've got one stuck up there on that high chamber. That does count, even though it is not fully clipped on. So unless it falls off, that will score for 10 points at the end of the match. Over on red, we've seen 3 samples go into that high basket, courtesy of Bionic Dutch. They just picked up a 4th with that rotating intake mechanism. They're going to go dump a 4th one. They've got it in there. They like grabbing those yellow samples, as now they're heading to the submersible for more. Circuit Breakers, they've got 3 on that high chamber now. Over on blue, I'm seeing duckbots at the back of the field trying to spit out a yellow sample into the net zone, but it sounds like their intake and outtake mechanism might be skipping. They can't seem to get it out of there. Metallum Ultorum is also on the back of the field for red. They've been working with those red samples that were placed on those spike marks. They're trying to get them into the observation zone so that they can be turned into specimens. Looks like they're deciding to move that one over to the net zone, which is worth 2 points if they get in that taped off area, which they do. Bionic Dutch gets one more in the high basket. Looks like their primary method of scoring is that high basket. Now we've got that sound working. We've got less than 30 seconds left in this match. Teams have got to be making a few last-minute moves if they want to win this one. Just a 20-point match right now. Bionic Dutch gets one more in the high basket. They've got time for some more. They're going for it. Circuit Breakers gets one on that high chamber, though. Looks like blue's trying to get most of their points via the chamber instead of the basket. One more for red on the high basket. One for blue in the chamber. There's not much time left. Let's see what they can do. Time is up. Controllers down. We saw two very different strategies there. Red did not do a single specimen and instead went for lots of samples in the baskets. Blue was the exact opposite. No samples in the baskets, but quite a few specimens on that high chamber. We'll have to see which one of those strategies proved the most effective when we see the winner of this match. Sounds like there might be some possible penalties that our wonderful team of volunteer referees is discussing with these teams. Just want to make sure that everyone knows the rules so that they can perform at the highest level. Our scores are ready now, so let's take a look at the board. I think we'll see some very good scores from both alliances. A lot of different ways of scoring. Looks like that's going to be the most effective for red, though. That high basket strategy worked out. Score of 84-69. Just a 15-point match that puts the Bionic Dutch in second place. Great job to all four of those teams. Very high scores on both alliances. Moving back to field 2. We've seen a lot of high scores on this field as well. Let's start with red. Our first robot at the front of the field is team 9974 Thor. And their partner is team 6147 Newbotics. And over on the blue alliance, we have team 14568 Norwalk Robo Warriors Gold. And their partner is team 24438 Create the Future. Looks like we're doing some last minute setup over on red. Sounds like they might be changing a battery that was low. That's all right. We'll let them do that so their robot can properly function. We're seeing some very different strategies with auto. Both blue robots are nearly touching each other in their current starting positions, and both red robots were nearly as far apart as they could be. We'll have to see if that proves effective for red, or if it's actually better for them to be closer together like they are on blue. Just depends on what kind of autos they're going to be running, whether they're going for those baskets or instead going for the chambers and more specimens. I know some of these robots have the potential to hang as well. We'll have to see at the end of the match if any of them are able to get off the ground or possibly go for that elusive level 3 hang that we have yet to see this season. Looks like Thor has gotten their battery replaced, so I see lights on their robot. They're getting it all set back up. I see 3 very different drivetrains in this match. I see 2 that are just traditional mechanism drives, but over on blue, Create the Future has a 6-wheel mechanism drive that I've never seen anything like before. Helps them get some more traction. Whereas on red, Thor's drivetrain is kind of hard to see. They've got it all covered up now, but it's what we call a swerve drive, and they have 4 wheels that can independently rotate. a little more complicated, but last match it looked like it worked pretty well for them. So we'll have to see what it does this match. All right, looks like our teams are set up now. Red Alliance, are you ready? Awesome, got that battery replaced. Blue Alliance, are you ready? Awesome, you guys have been ready to go the whole time. Our scorekeeper is ready now, so let's begin the match in 3, 2, 1, go. We saw some great autos from some of these teams in their previous matches. Thor's going for one, the high basket, they've got it. But Norwalk gets more points by placing one on that high chamber. Thor went for another one. They weren't able to pick it up. Looks like Create the Future has one, the low basket, though. Norwalk Gold isn't scoring points right now, but they are shoving them into the observation zone for use later. That could be helpful. Thor's got another one as we end the auto. Can they get it there in time? We'll have to see.
Drivers, pick up your controllers. 3, 2, 1.
Looks like Thor attempted 3 samples in that high basket there in auto. Only got 2 of them, though. Their partner was also parked in the observation zone. They're going to try to pick up some of those other loose samples from the field. We saw Norwalk Gold not scoring as much in the auto period, but they were preparing for teleop. They pushed a bunch of samples into that observation zone. They've made them into specimens now, and they just got one on that high chamber. Looks like we've got some teams battling for these Alliance neutral yellow samples at the back of the field. Create the Future grabs one for blue. New Box is coming over to try to get one for red. There's a limited amount of those yellow samples, so Alliances want to get as many of them as they can. Looks like Thor is running very quickly over on the red side. They don't seem to do those specimens, but they do the high basket samples very, very well. They're going for, I believe they're 7th in that high basket. They've got it. That basket's starting to fill up. I'm not sure how many it can hold. Blue's testing the limits of the low basket. They've got 3 in there, courtesy of Create the Future. But they're also doing that high chamber. Norwalk just spun a 4th one onto there. They clip their specimens in a very unique way. They put them sideways, unlike most teams which do them vertically. Yet another way we see strategy implemented by these teams. Thor going for another one as we approach 40 seconds left in the match. That swerve drive is helping them a lot getting around the field. They've sucked up another sample. We're approaching Endgame. We'll have to see what this team's Endgame has begun. Teams are going to need some last-minute scoring if they're going to win this match. Looks like Thor might be having some connection issues while Norwalk Gold is coming over for another high chamber. They've got it. It's starting to get quite full over there. No motion from either red robot as both blue robots are trying to go for a hang as we've got less than 10 seconds left. Looks like neither has it right now. Thor's back online. 3, 2, 1. Thor misses that one at the last second. Both blue robots have a level 1 ascent by touching that bar, but neither one got off the ground. Currently just a 5-point match. This one will come down to any potential fouls or scoring that has not yet been completed. Like our referees are stressing the importance of not having the human player and the robot in the observation zone at the same time. We do not want a hand to be placing an element in that observation zone and then a robot come out of nowhere and hurt someone. That's the last thing we want to see on the playing field. Both the drivers and the human players have to be very aware of what's going on in these matches. can see all of these teams looking at the field very intently. They want to know if they won that match. Looks like it could go either way right now. Red's got the lead, but only by 5. That's the same value as a minor foul, so any penalties that could be assessed could change this. And the refs are discussing something right now, although I'm not sure what. And ties can happen, so this could end up being a tie, so neither alliance gets the victory. That would be the first time we've seen it all season. Sounds like our scores are in for that close match. Let's see what happened. This one's going to be very, very close. I'm not sure who this went to. That sample is in. What color is it going to be? It's going to go to blue with a score of 92-91. A single point making the difference in that match. Great job to our blue alliance. It just shows that every point matters in these competitions. Even the smallest of actions can turn the tide of a match. After one of the highest pressure matches I've seen this season, let's see what qualification match 9 has in store for us. Over on red, we've got team 26192 Heat Waves. And their alliance partner is team 18397 Aztecs. Representing blue, we have team 7823 Roadrunner Robotics. And their alliance partner is team 25957 the Quantum Igniters. We've got a lot of cheering from the audience in this match. We've got both of our rookie teams in this match. Let's make this one a lot of energy. Our FTA is called for hands off. Looks like we are all set. Red Alliance, are you ready? There we go. Blue Alliance, are you ready? Very good to hear. Our scorekeeper is ready. So let's begin the match in 3, 2, 1, go. 1, 2, now 3 robots moving in autonomous. Quantum Igniters put one in the net zone, as has Heat Waves. Looks like Quantum Igniters is going for a second. It's just outside right now. Aztecs has placed one in the observation zone. It's not worth any points, but they can grab it later, maybe use it for something else. 10 seconds left in auto. Quantum Igniters gets another one in that net zone. 5 seconds left. They're going to go park, and in the process, they shove their partner into the parking zone as well.
Drivers, pick up your controllers. 3, 2, 1.
All right, blue exits with just a 7-point lead. Not a lot of scoring on the chambers or in the baskets, but it looks like now we've got teams on both alliances going for specimens. Heat Waves reaching up, spitting one out into that high basket. As their partner, the Aztecs, they've got one specimen. They've got it on the high chamber. Looks like Quantum Igniters also has one. They're trying to get it onto that high chamber, but there they go. They started to tip their robot while they were doing it, but they got it back on its wheels, and it is clamped on now. Aztecs is doing the same thing, though. They keep doing those specimens. They're going to go pick up another one while their partner gets one in the high basket. Roadrunner Robotics doesn't look like they're able to place any of the specimens, but they've pushed a bunch of those samples around. They've got 3 in the net zone. I know some of those are left over from auto. Maybe they'll grab those later and score them in the basket. Heat Waves just got another one in the high basket for red. That's their 3rd one. They're reaching into the submersible now since they've run out of other samples to use. Those ones are a little hard to get since they get bunched up on each other, but looks like they're going to suck one up. They just can't get it right now. Their partner Aztecs, since Heat Waves isn't on that basket, they're going to go over there and get one themselves in the high basket. Very good job by the Aztecs to see that they had the opportunity to score over there. Their partner now is returning with one from the sub, and they've got in the high basket. 5 in the high basket for Red as we approach Endgame. And as Endgame begins, the Quantum Igniters get one on that high chamber. That's 20 points for Blue, each one worth 10 points. They've got 20 seconds left to make some last-minute scoring attempts. Looks like both Red robots are going for the high basket. Heat Waves gets one in the low, and Aztecs gets one in the high. 10 seconds left. We'll see if any robots choose to hang or park. Looks like we have level 1 ascents from both Red robots. 3 seconds left. And that is the end of the match. Controllers down. Looks like 1 Blue robot was able to park in the observation zone, and 2 Red robots achieved a level 1 ascent merely by touching that first bar. Looks like our referees are continuing to stress the importance of the humans and robots avoiding direct interactions with each other. We don't want anyone getting hurt by a robot because these are very powerful pieces of machinery that these students have built. All right, our scores are in for that match. Let's see how it played out. How high were those scores? Sample is in. Color is changing. It's going to go to Red. Score of 121 to 41. Even without those foul points, Red breaks the 100-point barrier. We haven't seen that fall very often this season. That's a great job to our Red Alliance. Most of that came in tele-op. 90 points, both via the baskets and the chambers, enabled Red to win that match. Over on field 2, I like the looks of the robots I see. I know multiple of these robots can hang, so we'll have to see if that happens. Let's start on Red, where we have one of our hometown teams. That's 22187 Air. And their alliance partner is team 10435 Circuit Breakers. Over on blue, we have team 6147 Newbotics. And their alliance partner is team 24438 Create the Future. I've seen 3 of these 4 robots attempt to hang before, and I wouldn't be surprised if all of them are capable. As we progress from league meet to league meet, we see these teams making changes to their robots, making them more sophisticated and capable of scoring more and more points. We've already seen our scores go up by quite a bit from last meet, and I know we'll see that happen yet again when we go to League Meet 3 in 3 weeks. That gives teams quite a bit of time to make some improvements to their robots, possibly even redesign some of their important scoring mechanisms. Our FTA is giving me the thumbs up sign. Volunteers are out of the field. I'll ask again. Red Alliance, are you ready? Very good. Blue Alliance, are you ready? Very good. Our scorekeeper is giving me the thumbs up, so let's begin the match in 3, 2, 1, go. Circuit Breakers, like always, moves very quick and auto. Gets one on that high chamber. I see both blue robots moving as well, though. New box is parked, and Create the Future going for one in the low basket, which they have done. Looks like Circuit Breakers, they didn't get stuck on the wall this time. They've got 2 on the high chamber now, going for number 3. Looks like Create the Future is going to go park while Circuit Breaker scores number 3 for Red. They're going for a fourth specimen. Can they get it? They've got it on there.
Drivers, pick up your controllers. 3, 2, 1.
A very high-scoring autonomous for the Red Alliance. 40 points, all by the Circuit Breakers. Let's see if they can keep up that clip of scoring in the teleop period. I see motion from 3 of our robots. Looks like New Box might be trying to reconnect theirs. Hopefully our team of volunteers can help them if they need it. Create the Future, though, still scoring for Blue. They've got another one in that low basket and are going for a third. Circuit Breakers does what they do best, though. They've got another one on that high chamber. They're reaching into the submersible now, searching for more of those samples that they're probably going to turn into specimens. I see their human player getting a clip ready as their robot grabs another one right off the wall. Red Alliance is still scoring in those baskets, though. It's just coming from their alliance partner. That's Air. They've got another one in the low basket as we approach 1 minute and 10 seconds left in the match. Circuit Breakers continues to reach into that submersible. Looks like they're not going to be doing any of the baskets. They just love doing those specimens on the high chamber. They can only fit so many, though. They already have 7. They're going to eventually run out of room. Maybe then they'll shift to the low chamber. Looks like Create the Future. They might not be able to score on those chambers, but they can score in the low basket very well. They have 4 in there. Now they're going for those blue ones. 45 seconds left in the match. Circuit Breakers going for an 8th, trying to work with their partner Air, who's trying to get a yellow Alliance neutral sample. Maybe they'll go for that and try to get it in the low basket, which is what they seem to do best. Endgame has begun. We'll see. Ooh. Air goes over, and they're back on their wheels. Very great design from them that allows them to stand back up. We'll have to see if any of these robots go for hangs. I know they're capable. Looks like that's what Air might be doing. Blue doesn't want to be outdone, though. Create the Future, I think, is doing the same thing. 10 seconds left now. Circuit Breakers gets yet another specimen. Both robots trying to hang, one for red, one for blue, as we reach the conclusion of this match. Lot of scoring by red on that high chamber, and 2 attempted hangs, but it looks like both of those will just be level 1. 3 points for touching the bar. Looks like Circuit Breakers ended up with 9 specimens on that high chamber, 4 of which came from Auto. I'm told the most that's been done in a match in the entire world is 15, but this was just 1 robot, so very impressive scoring from them. Looks like our head ref is discussing some things with them. Could see some fouls in this match, but right now it looks like Red has a fairly comfortable lead. But again, these scores are not yet finalized, so we will have to see how this plays out and if Red maintains their lead. Sounds like we are all good to publish the score of that match. Let's see how high Red was able to go with those specimens. Sample is N. Color is going to go to red with a score of 141 to 44. Red Alliance takes it. Bulk of that scoring coming from those 9 specimens on the high chamber. All but 11 of those points came from the high chamber specimens that they scored in auto and teleop. We are now back on field 1 for our 11th qualification match of the day. We are approaching our halfway point. Let's meet our red teams. Where first, we have team 18200, Martinsdale St. Mary's Techno Devils. And their alliance partner is team 22189 Fire. And then on blue, our current first-ranked team is team 14568 Norwalk Robo Warriors Gold. And their partner is team 7823 Roadrunner Robotics. Sounds like our FTA has already confirmed that the teams are ready. Our volunteers are out of the field now. I've got the thumbs up from our scorekeeper. I won't ask the teams, but I'll ask you, audience. Are you ready? All right, then let's begin the match in 3, 2, 1, go. I see a lot of motion right now. Looks like both blue robots and both red robots moving. Norwalk Gold gets one on the high chamber, while Martinsdale gets one in that low basket. Fire going for one on the high chamber. Looks like they were just a little too high. Maybe they can pick that one up later, though. Norwalk Gold doing in auto what they've done all day. Not scoring, but instead sliding over and pushing those samples into the observation zone for use in teleop. It's a great strategy move.
Drivers, pick up your controllers. 3, 2, 1.
Blue Alliance exits the autonomous period with a decent lead. They're going to keep doing those specimens, what they've done great so far all day. That's what's netted them that first place league ranking. Red Alliance, though, doesn't want them to have that. They've got both of their robots trying to score right now. The Techno Devils get one in the low basket, and I see Fire trying to grab one off the wall to put on one of those chambers. Roadrunner is at the back of the field. They're not going for the baskets, but I can tell they're going to use that wide robot of theirs to try to push into the net zone. Score their alliance some helpful points that could turn the tide of this match. Norwalk going for one on that high chamber. They had a bit of a weird grab on it. Looks like it fell into the submersible. We've got teams going into the submersible now for more of those samples. They're kind of hard to find. There's a lot of them in there, but they can be hard to grab. Martinsdale doesn't struggle one bit, though. They've got one. Looks like they're going to score their 5th in that low basket. Their alliance partner, Fire, shoving around those red samples. Remember, only alliance-specific samples can be turned into specimens. So teams have to find those red or blue ones if they want to go for the chambers on that submersible structure. Those are those red and blue bars, keep in mind. Fire's got a specimen now. They're going to go for that high chamber. That seems to be their strategy of choice. Got a bit of a weird grab, but they're going to pull it back, and it's clipped on now. 10 points for red. Blue answers immediately, though. Blue gets one of their own on that high chamber right as we enter Endgame. We've got a close match right now. 11 points in favor of red, but there's not a lot of time left. One hang or one last-minute scoring attempt could be the difference. Fire knows that, and they're going for one on the high chamber. They've got it. It is... Oh, they had it on there for a second. Now it appears to have fallen off. We'll have to see if they have time to score it. There's only 3 seconds left. And time is up. Controllers down, teams. It's like no teams were able to quite get off the ground, but we had one robot from each alliance achieve a level 1 ascent. Remember, that's just touching that first metal bar, and that gets you 3 points. Red's got a bit of an advantage thanks to that flurry of scoring by the Techno Devils in the low basket. They've got 7 samples in there. Might not be worth quite as many points as the high basket, but they're able to reach that one a lot quicker than reaching all the way up to the high one. Something that we've been seeing at today's league meet that we weren't always seeing at last meet, that on the field, those tape marks, those are called spike marks, those start with samples on them. Basically, every match we've had today, those are ending up empty, especially the ones up at the front of the field. We've got a few still laying around at the back, but other than that, those have been emptied out. Teams are now being forced to reach into that submersible to grab more. That's a bit of a harder task because they can't just drive in there. They have to be able to reach in with some sort of arm or other intaking assembly. But it looks like a lot of teams are capable of doing that, which at such an early league meet is really impressive. You might remember one of the rules I mentioned earlier is that teams cannot intentionally exit the field. So I think that's something that we might have seen a little bit of in that match. So teams have to be cognizant of that and be very careful not to hit anything because they can incur what is called a yellow card if they do contact a driver station or even a human that is outside the field. Sounds like our scores are being finalized now. Still discussing a few things with teams. We want to tell all the teams what their fouls are if they incur any. That way they know not to make them in the future. We don't want them to be guessing what they might have done wrong. We want them to know so they can be the best versions of themselves. So our scores are now ready. Let's take a look. Sample is in. Score is going to go to red. And 60-41 is our final total. Very good score from red. Norwalk Gold still remains in first place, though. Going to see how those rankings change throughout the day. A lot of stuff could still happen. Many teams still have at least half their matches left to play. Our teams are set already on field 2 for qualification match number 12. Starting on red, we have team 13085 Bionic Dutch and their partners, winners of the Biggest Hat Award. We have team 18527 the PCM Alchemists. Their opponents on the Blue Alliance, we have team 26192 Heat Waves. Their partner, this is an all-rookie alliance, it's team 25957 the Quantum Igniters. Looks like our teams have finalized their setup. Our field technical advisor is just confirming. Sounds like they're all good. I'm seeing a thumbs up from our scorekeepers. We're ready to begin this match. Let's start in 3, 2, 1, go. Buzzer has sounded. Looks like 3 robots have moved. Bionic Dutch, like they always do, gets one in that high basket. It's a very simple but also very consistent autonomous. Quantum Igniters not going for the baskets, but instead scoring multiple samples into the net zone. They have 3 now. Looks like they're going for one more. They got a little caught on it. They weren't able to get it. They decided to stop their auto. Looks like it's going to be 8-6 in favor of red as we end auto.
Drivers, pick up your controllers. 3, 2, 1.
We didn't see robot movement from every robot during auto, but we have all of them moving in teleop now. Looks like Heat Waves, they're pretty good at that high basket. They're going to keep doing that in this match. They've got one in. Let's see if they go for those ones in the net zone. They've got a lot right in front of them, but instead they're going to go to the submersible. Their partner, Quantum Igniters, the other rookie team at today's meet, just got one on the high chamber. They've got another one. Like they're lining up. They're going to get it clipped on. 20 points for blue. However, their opponents on red, we've got Bionic Dutch, one of the best high basket teams we've seen so far in our league. They've got 2 in that high basket already, and they're going for a third. PCM Alchemists on red. They've got that claw extended out. Looks like they're going to shove those red Alliance-specific samples into the observation zone and now over to the net zone so that Bionic Dutch can pick them up. Quantum Igniters has a third specimen, but it looks like they're waiting to score it right now, communicating with their drive team, trying to figure out the best way to score. It's hanging by a thread. Looks like they're going to go drop it off so that they can reposition it thanks to their human player. 45 seconds left in this match, and Quantum Igniters, or excuse me, Heat Waves is going for the high basket at the back of the field. This would be their 4th one. It falls just short, but it is in the net zones. Their partner, Quantum Igniters, though, does have a successful score on the high chamber. As we enter Endgame, we've got a very close match. Both alliances around 60 points. Bionic Dutch trying to mount a bit of a comeback. They're going for more in that high basket. Quantum Igniters, however, they've got another one going for the high chamber. This could be pivotal in winning this match. They've got it clipped on. 10 seconds left. Heat Waves is going for one more in the high basket. So is Bionic Dutch. These last-minute samples could be all the difference. Both alliances successful as time expires. Let's hear a round of applause for all of our teams in that match. Our 2 rookie teams currently lead with a score of 103-74. Saw 8 samples scored in that high basket by the Bionic Dutch. Blue only had 4 in the high basket, but they also had 4 on that high chamber. And you might see that one of those is not fully clipped on. However, that does not matter. Since it is not touching a robot or anything else, it still counts for 10 points, just like all of the others that are fully clipped on. Right now, I believe that's what's giving Blue a lead, but our scoring might not be done yet. Our team of volunteers is discussing and is making sure that there's no potential fouls that could turn the tide of this match. Looks like we are good now, just making sure that all of our scoring has been done properly. We're going to give our referees a little more time to get everything figured out. All right, our scores are submitted now. We're going to wait just a second for our scorekeeper. All right, we are good now. Let's see what the scores were. Samples in. This one's going to go to blue. Our all-rookie alliance wins with a score of 99-84. Great match that I know a lot of our teams are excited about. Great result for both alliances. 80-plus points is quite a lot for just our second meet. We are now back on field one. We're almost to the halfway point. We are ready for qualification match 13. Let's meet red and start at the front of the field where we have team 9974 Thor. And their alliance partner, who is currently ranked 4th in the league, is Team 18397, the Aztecs. Their opponents, ranked 2nd in the league, it's Team 16736, Atomic Narwhals. And their alliance partner is Team 24358, Metallum Ultorum. All 4 of our teams took that extra time to get set up. Looks like they are good to go. Red Alliance, are you ready? Blue Alliance, are you ready? Looks like we're waiting for a thumbs up from our scorekeeper, making sure the scoring system is all ready to go. All right, looks like we were just switching out one of our tablets, making sure all of our referees are prepared to score the match. Doing it in your head would be pretty difficult to remember. I think we are getting set now. All right, I've got a thumbs up now from our scorekeeper. Both alliances, are you still ready? Sounds like we're all good, so let's begin the match in 3, 2, 1, go. I see 1, 2, now 3 robots moving in auto. I've seen a lot of these autos before. Let's see if they score. Both Aztecs and Narwhals get one on the high chamber. Thor gets one on the high basket. Narwhal is going for more specimens, whereas Thor is going for more high baskets. Looks like Thor gets one in. Let's see if Narwhals can match them with one on the high chamber. They've almost got it. Ooh, just falls out. Still in their robot, though. Maybe they can score it. We'll see. Looks like they're done for now.
Drivers, pick up your controllers. 3, 2, 1.
All right, teleop has begun. I'm not seeing motion from one of our robots. Now I'm seeing all 4. That's great to see. We want these teams to get very high scores in this match because we know they're capable of it. Looks like Thor going for one in the high basket. Narwhals is trying to get that specimen that they dropped into their robot out, but it is stuck right now. Looks like Thor might have lost a number off of their robot. One of their team signs. Those are new this year. That accidentally came off. We'll have to remember which robot they are without having to look at their numbers. That doesn't seem to be affecting them, though. They've got one going for the high basket. Well, over on blue, Narwhals is still trying to get that one out, but it is stuck in that tangle of wires. Maybe their partner can give them some help, but right now they're going to that high chamber with specimens that they're getting from the human player. Aztecs has been doing very well at the high chamber, though. There's 4 right now, and they're going for a 5th. Red Alliance robots working very well together. Thor is getting those yellow samples into the high basket, while the Aztecs are scoring the red samples onto the high chamber. Or excuse me, those are specimens. It can be hard to keep track sometimes. Looks like both of our red teams are going into the submersible now as we approach 45 seconds left. Narwhals have been unable to get that specimen out. Looks like they might be trying to play some defense or just get ready to hang at the end of the match once we get into Endgame, as Thor gets another one in the high basket and Aztecs gets another one on the high chamber as we enter the Endgame. Red Alliance score is now across 150 points. We'll see if that can get any higher. Thor gets one in high. Aztecs is going for the same. Less than 20 to go. Metallum Ultorum is content to park. Looks like Narwhals have gone for a level 1 ascent just by touching the bar. Aztecs and Thor, neither one is hanging or parking. They're going for more samples. 3 seconds left. Aztecs gets one. And both Thor and Aztecs get those 3 parking or ascent points. Red currently leads with a score of 177 to 30. While that scoring came from 11 in the high basket, largely from Thor, and 6 on the high chamber, largely from the Aztecs. I will note that currently the state high score is 223 points. So although we aren't quite to that right now, the league high score is 161 points set earlier today in qualification match 6. So barring any major scoring changes, we might have passed that in this match, thanks to Thor and Aztecs working together. Like we've got a few pieces of robots laying around the field. That's what I like to call souvenirs for our volunteer crew. We've got a screw on the back of the field, and then we've got an entire team sign laying in the Red Alliance net zone. There's some pretty sweet souvenirs. We'll have to see what other ones our referees get today throughout the rest of the event. Looks like that came from 9974. Looks like that was off of the right side of their robot. They use that to identify their robot. That's something that's new this year. Instead of teams getting to choose how they present their numbers, they must have an either red or blue team sign, which must have white numbers that are at least 2 inches tall and visible from at least 12 feet away. Looks like we are good now to see the score. Let's see if that's a new league high. I think this one's going to go towards red. It is indeed red, but let's see what it was. 183 to 36. Majority of that scoring came in the teleop period. Over 150 of those points, in fact. Is now the 4th highest score in the state, which only trails the scores of Lion Robotics, currently ranked as a top 10 team worldwide. Historically, though, we've seen some of the top teams, not just in the state, but in the world, come from this very league. So as the season progresses, our scores will definitely be getting higher, especially as the best teams work together in the elimination matches that we'll see at league tournament. Our teams are ready over here on qualification match 14. We are now through at least half of our matches. Let's meet our red teams, where we have team 12783 Norwalk Robo Warriors purple. And their alliance partner is team 7823 Roadrunner Robotics. Representing blue at the front, we have team 14172 Disco Duckbots. And their alliance partner is team 13085 the Bionic Dutch. Our teams appear to be set. Red Alliance, are you ready? Blue Alliance, are you ready? Our teams are good to go. Our scorekeeper is ready. So let's begin the match in 3, 2, 1, go. Motion from all 4 robots. Not something we saw a lot at our last meet, but we were seeing it quite a bit today. 1 in the high basket for both red and blue. Looks like the Duckbots were also able to park in the observation zone. Roadrunner moved not quite there. That park on blue is going to give blue an 11-8 edge. I don't think we're going to see any more scoring in the autonomous period right now. I can hear some strategy going on amongst our teams, though, as they prepare for teleop.
Drivers, pick up your controllers. 3, 2, 1.
1, 2, 3. I'm waiting for a 4th robot to move. We'll see if they can get going. Both blue robots going. They're going for those loose samples on the field. Now we've got all 4 robots going. Great to see, as always. Bionic Dutch doing what they do best. That high basket. They've got one in there for another 8 points. Looks like Norwalk, they also enjoy that high basket. I've seen them do specimens, but right now they're going for that high basket and 8 more points. Bionic Dutch gets yet another, though, as their partner, the Disco Duckbots, does get one clipped onto that high chamber. 10 points for blue. Bionic Dutch gets yet another. They're now out of most of those loose samples, though, on the field. As they run out of those, they're going to have to go into the submersible for more. Norwalk facing the same dilemma soon. They've got one more sample there at the front of the field, but after that, they either need to start grabbing those red Alliance-specific ones and scoring them, or be forced to reach into the submersible. That's exactly what Bionic Dutch is trying to do. They're looking for those yellow or blue ones. They don't want to accidentally pick up a red one and face any potential fouls. Norwalk, they, instead of going into the submersible, opted to go to their observation zone and receive a sample from their human player. They've now added a red one to the plethora of yellow ones in their high basket. Remember, in the baskets, you can place either yellow or your Alliance color. But Duckbots places one on the high chamber. Remember, those have to be your Alliance's color. A yellow one does not get you any points. Endgame has begun. Score is in favor of blue since Bionic Dutch is just so efficient at that high basket. Red Alliance, though, has been able to answer this match. They're going for yet another sample off the back of the field. We got teams reaching into the submersible. We've got about 10 seconds left. We'll have to see if anyone decides to go park or if they'd rather get last-minute points. 5 seconds left. Norwalk gets one in. And Bionic Dutch gets one at the buzzer. Controllers down. That last second sample in the high basket might have pushed their score above 100 points. Very high quality scoring effort from both Blue Alliance robots. Just so everyone knows, this includes both the teams and the people in the audience. After qualification match 15, that is our next one over on field 1, we will be taking a short 5 to 10 minute break to demonstrate an FRC robot, which is a team that they have here at Valley. So we'll take a very short break to show that off and then resume our matches. All right, our scores are in for that last match, though. So, our sample, it's been grabbed by the robot. It is in. Let's see where this goes. It's going to go the way of blue with a score of 152 to 64. A very well-balanced and high score by the Blue Alliance thrust Bionic Dutch into second place for the league. We'll now move back to field 1. We'll play a match here, and then I'm told we will be having that FRC demo after the conclusion of this match. But for now, let's get this one played. Over. On red, we have team 22187 Air. And their alliance partner is team 24358 Metalla Motorum. Their alliance partner on blue is team 22189 Fire. And their partner is team 25957 the Quantum Igniters. We've got both of our West Des Moines Valley teams in this match, albeit on different alliances. There's definitely some bragging rights in play here to whoever wins this match. Sounds like our teams are finalizing setup. Getting a thumbs up from our scorekeeper. Red Alliance, are you ready? Blue Alliance, are you ready? Let's go. Then let's begin the match in 3, 2, 1, go. Quantum Igniters wasting no time running that same auto they've done all day. They've got one in the net zone and are going for two. Looks like Air has gotten one on that high chamber. Their sister team Fire trying to do the same. They haven't quite done it yet, though. Quantum Igniters getting more into that net zone. 10 seconds left in auto. Looks like Air went onto the Blue Alliance side and hit some of those samples. I know there is potential for a foul there, but I'm not sure what that would classify as.
Drivers, pick up your controllers. 3, 2, 1.
Thanks to that high specimen or high chamber specimen by Air, Red does have a lead right now. Metal Motorum taking that preloaded specimen. They have one on the low chamber. Meanwhile, Blue, though, they don't have any on the chambers yet, but I can tell Air is going for some. They just grabbed one off the wall. And now they're going to go over to the submersible structure. They want that high chamber because they know it's worth more points. Their sister team is going for one in the low basket, though. I hear calls for the FTA as Fire's specimen unfortunately slips off of that chamber. There's plenty more samples, though, and they still have a lot of time to get more. Metal Motorum, they aren't able to quite reach that high chamber, but they are able to pick up those specimens and put them onto the low chamber. They've got one, and they're trying to grab another to do the same thing. Like Air having a little bit of trouble with that yellow sample over on the front of the field. They're going to try to pick that up, do the low basket, which they've proved to be very good at. Fire going for that high chamber still. Let's see if they can get their first one. And they've got it now. 10 points for the Blue Alliance. Let's see if they can get a little more consistency now as a blue sample falls out the back of the field. Almost lands on one of our referees. Looks like Fire now has got another one as we approach Endgame. It's a 1-point match right now. Looks like Blue is going to try to take the lead, though. They've got one on the high chamber. Somehow hanging upside down for a few seconds until it swings around to the bottom. Got a robot charging the basket. They know they don't have a lot of time left. They're trying to get those points because they know they need them to win this match. Blue has taken the lead, but we've got Air for Red, I think trying to attempt to hang. Their wheels are off the ground, but they aren't completely up. 5 seconds left now. 3, 2, 1. Time is up. We saw a very close match there. Not a super high score, but wins matter no matter how high your score is. And wins are what affects your league ranking. So even if a team doesn't have a great match, winning can still be very beneficial once we get to the league tournament on the 1st of February. And just a reminder to everyone, since we are now done with that match, we will do a short FRC robot demo once the scores have been posted here. Then once that is done, we will resume our matches with qualification match 16 over on field 2. something I've been informed of by our team of referees is that when air crossed the middle of the field in auto, they hit a couple of the samples that were out on the field. So there is the potential for that to be a foul, since that could have affected the opposing alliance's efforts to grab those samples and score them either in the baskets or on the chambers. They did not end up doing so, but the fact that they moved them is potential for a foul. It might not affect the result of this match, but right now it is just 11 points making the difference. All right, our scores are in now. Let's see what that last match was before we take a short break. We've got the sample now. This one was pretty close, but it's going to end up going the way of the Blue Alliance with a score of 85-46. 45 points worth of fouls actually made the difference there. Red did have the lead, but 45 points of fouls makes the difference and pushes Fire into third place.
All right. So this is our FRC bot for ice, and we're going to shoot the rings across the field. All of them. Right. My name is Richard, and I'm part of the ice team. I just recently joined, and I'm from the Milwaukee Timberline School.
My name is Ben. This is my second year. I work on build-in design.
All right. So you can join our team. You can ask Dean about it. Dean Lang about it. As we're a really small team and we want more people to join so we can go be better in FRC. Alright, I guess we're done with our demo for shooting it.
Big thanks to our ICE FRC team. If you have a high schooler in the it's a Metro League. It incorporates all high schools in the Metro. Dean Lang is going to wave. Dean Lang. He is the coordinator for this team. If you have a high schooler who is interested in FRC, the big robots, this is a step above FTC. You can call Dean or ask any of your coaches. We all have his. All right, we will resume play in about 2 minutes.
Like we have 3 of our 4 teams set up for qualification match number 16 over on field 2. Looks like we've got one team now coming over to the field. I think they were taping part of their robot back together, getting ready for this match. Let's meet our teams on the Red Alliance who are getting set up. First of all, we have team 12783 Norwalk Robo Warriors Purple. And their alliance partner is team 26192 Heat Waves. On the Blue Alliance, at the front, we have team 24438 Create the Future. And their alliance partner is team 9974 Thor. Can hear our teams on the Blue Alliance talking together to figure out the best possible strategy for this match. Figuring out what autos they want to run, what kind of strategy they want to do in teleop. There's a lot these teams have to consider. We haven't seen a lot of times where teams are hanging, but there's even the possibility that both teams need to coordinate when and where they will be hanging. So that's something they have to think about as well. Like Tyler, our wonderful FTA, is going around making sure our teams are good. Red Alliance is looking ready to go for this match. Blue Alliance just finishing up their setup. They want to take their time. They know what this match means to their ranking. They want to win here. Blue Alliance still finalizing their setup. They want to really hone in this strategy. These teams get randomly assigned with who they play with. They do not get to choose. So sometimes that makes these discussions a little more difficult. But ultimately, you have to be able to work well with any team to get a high score, regardless of their design or their possible strategy. Looks like red is all ready to go, but blue is still finishing their setup. These robots are pretty complicated, so they have a lot of things they have to consider when they set up their robots on the field and then get them connected. A lot of top teams can have upwards of 10 or even 20 auto periods, or autonomous programs, so they have to be smart with which one they select. All right, after a delay by our Blue Alliance, it seems we're ready to go now. Red Alliance, are you ready? Glad to hear it. Blue Alliance, are you finally ready? I guess they were ready all along. Our scorekeeper is ready, so let's begin the match in 3, 2, 1, go. Both red robots moving. Norwalk going for one in the high basket. They've got it. Thor matches for the Blue Alliance, though, with one of their own. Thor and Norwalk's partners, Create the Future and Heatwaves, have both parked in the observation zone. Thor's going for another one. Their lift goes up very quickly. They've got it in the high basket. Will they go for one more? We saw them do it earlier. Looks like they are. They've got it in their robot. 6 seconds left. Can they get there in time? Lift is up. And they get it.
Drivers, pick up your controllers. 3, 2, 1.
Very nice auto from both alliances, but blue is already over 50 points. Thor has quickly scooped up another one. They're going back to that high basket. It's what they do best. They've got 4 now. Red, though, is also going for the high basket. Heatwaves gets one up there with that extending arm mechanism. Norwalk is going to do the same. Thor just keeps going, though. They have another one, and they're now reaching into that submersible to go for more. Norwalk still scoring those loose samples, as is their partner, the Heatwaves. Heatwaves gets one. They get caught on the edge, though, and 2 of those samples come flying out. They're both still in the field, though, so they could probably pick those back up and get them again, which is exactly what they're doing. Over on blue, I just saw Create the Future try to score a specimen, but it just bounced off. Those specimens are kind of hard to get. They're very precise. About 1 minute and 10 seconds left in this match. Thor continues to reach into the submersible, goes back to that high basket. And they've got another one in there. 75 points for red. Just went up to 83. That Create the Future is trying to line up for that sample or specimen over in the blue observation zone as their partner gets one in the high basket once again. Red is also doing a lot of scoring in that high basket. Heatwaves just got one, and Norwalk just grabbed one out of the submersible. I think I know where they're going with it. Yes, indeed. It is the high basket. Another one in for red. A lot of high basket scoring for both alliances as we approach the end game. We see our first specimen scored, though, as Create the Future gets one on the high. End game has begun. I think we're going to see these teams go for some last-minute scoring with how close this match is before they transition to going for hangs. Thor going for another one, trying to communicate with their alliance partner as they get to the high basket. Create the Future going for that hang, while Heatwaves gets another one in the high basket. Teams are trying to strategize with less than 10 seconds left. Red Alliance robots going for more. Create the Future trying to hang at the last second. And time is up. Both alliances currently upward of 75 points. Each alliance had at least 8 samples in that high basket. Might be the highest I've seen by both combined alliances so far this season. Right now, the difference in that match is being made by those extra 2 samples scored in auto by blue and that 1 specimen scored on the high chamber by Create the Future. Like we have an equal amount of parking points and a fairly similar amount of points scored by those samples in the high basket. Looks like our scores are ready. Let's see what happened in that match. It'd be a good score for both alliances. The winner is going to be blue with a score of 127 to 91. Blue Alliance takes it. Moves Thor up into 11th, Create the Future into 12th place. Very nice teleop period by both alliances with scores of 97 and 67 respectively. Moving back to Field 1, many of these teams are now playing their 4th match of the day. At this point, they've figured out maybe some of the issues they've had with their robots and are scoring at as high of a clip as we've seen all year. Let's meet our teams on the Red Alliance. Starting off with Team 6147, Newbotics. And their alliance partner is Team 14172, Disco Duckbots. On the Blue Alliance, we have Team 18397, the Aztecs. And their alliance partner is Team 18200, Martinsville St. Mary's Techno Devils. Here our teams are all set up here. We do have our current #1 team in this match. That is the Aztecs representing blue. I'm seeing a thumbs up from our scorekeepers. I'll ask again. Red Alliance, are you ready? Awesome. Blue Alliance, are you still ready? Great. Then let's begin the match. In 3, 2, 1, go. See a lot of movement on blue, little on red as well. Aztecs gets one in the high chamber. Martinsville Techno Devils get one in the low basket. Like Duckbots have parked in the observation zone. Same for the Aztecs. I think we're done with scoring now, halfway through our autonomous period. Score is currently 17-3 in favor of blue. Keep in mind that all points scored during the autonomous period do count again at the end of teleop, assuming they don't get descored on accident.
Drivers, pick up your controllers. 3, 2, 1.
All of our robots now off in teleop. The drivers now have manual control. They have a lot more flexibility with what they can make their robots do. Martinsville wasting no time. They've grabbed one of those 3 yellow samples that's loose on the field. They've got it in the low basket. That's been their strategy all day, and it seems to be working very well as they use those big orange fingers to pinch the samples and place them in the basket. Their alliance partner also has a claw, but it's a bit different. They use it to do the specimens on that high chamber. However, red is doing quite a bit of scoring on that high chamber. They've got 2 already, courtesy of the Disco Duckbots, but it looks like they might be stuck on top of a red sample right now. Those samples are fairly small, so with the big drivetrains that we see on these robots, they can sometimes get stuck on top of the specimens or the samples. Looks like Newbotics is going once again now. They're having some connection issues, but one of our volunteers was able to help them out. Looks like they might be stuck once again, though. Blue Alliance continues to score on that high chamber. That's a 4th specimen, courtesy of the Aztecs. There's also, looks like 4, actually make that 5, in the low basket for blue, courtesy of the Techno Devils. Aztecs has gotten another one on the high chamber. Martinsville is going for one in the low basket. They've got it. Right now, Blue Alliance is approaching a score of 100 as we are approaching Endgame. Red Alliance robots, both of them are trying to go for the basket, but it looks like right now Endgame has begun. Blue is not slowing up one bit. Looks like Red Alliance robots are moving now. Maybe they can make a comeback here with some last-minute scoring efforts. Aztec scores the first high basket sample of the match. 15 seconds left, 103-25. Aztecs is going for another one on that high chamber while their partner, the Techno Devils, gets one in the low basket. 5 seconds left. 3, 2, 1. Time is up. Controllers down. Some great teamwork between our Blue Alliance teams, one of which is our current first-ranked team, the Aztecs. They did what they do best, and that's score on that high chamber. I see 6 specimens up there right now. I would like to inform everyone that Concessions has received more pizza and will now be open for a while longer. So if you are still hungry, there is pizza to be eaten. Please go buy some. It is quite delicious. All right, our scores are in for qualification match number 17. Looks like Blue has a comfortable lead. Let's see how high that score went. It is indeed going to go to the Blue Alliance with a score of 119 to 26. That propels the Techno Devils into the top 10. These rankings might not mean much other than bragging rights right now, but once we get to the league tournament in February, every single one of these matches could have an impact on ranking, and thus who advances to the state championship. We're now back on field 2. We're almost 2/3 of the way through all of our matches. Let's meet the teams in qualification match number 18. Setting up on the front, we have team 14568, Norwalk Robo Warriors Gold. And their alliance partner is team 10435, the Circuit Breakers. On blue, we have team 16736, the Atomic Narwhals. And their alliance partner is team 18527, PCM Alchemists. Our teams are finalizing their setups. We're getting the thumbs up from all of our volunteers. Looks like they're good to go. Red Alliance, are you ready? Blue Alliance, are you ready? Our scorekeeper is ready, so let's begin the match. In 3, 2, 1, go! Circuit Breakers, as always, starts very fast. We'll have to see if they can get 4 specimens like they did earlier. Narwhals matches them, though, with one on the high chamber of their own. And Norwalk Gold looks like they might be going for the baskets. We'll see if that one falls off. Their partner gets one on the high chamber. It's not clipped all the way on, but that does not matter unless it falls off, which unfortunately it does as they score their next one. Another one from Narwhals as well. Looks like Circuit Breakers is going to get a third as auto ends.
Drivers, pick up your controllers. 3, 2, 1.
3 high chamber specimens from red, 2 from blue. Results in both of our alliances being over 40 points as teleop begins. PCM Alchemists, they've got their robot functioning pretty well now. They've got one in the high basket as their partner gets one on the high chamber to match Circuit Breakers' total. Circuit Breakers answers, though, with one on the high chamber. Now they're searching for more within the submersible to take to their human player. Norwalk Gold, they like those loose yellow samples at the front of the field. They usually like doing specimens, but they have a very versatile robot they can also place in the baskets, and that's what they're doing for this match to help their alliance get the most points possible. Both alliances have at least 5 specimens right now. Red is going for number 6. They've got it on. Both blue robots now going for high basket scoring. They think that's the best way to overcome Red's high scoring output from the autonomous period. ECM trying to drop their sample. They've got it up there, but it looks like they just can't get their claw to release right now. It is unfortunately stuck. We'll have to see if they can score that in some other way. Circuit Breakers just got number 7 for red. Their partner, Norwalk Robo Warriors Gold, going up to the high basket. That'll be a third one for them in the high basket. 8 more points for red as we approach 40 seconds left in the match. Atomic Narwhals trying to use that claw on their extension. They've grabbed a yellow sample. They're going, looks like, towards the high basket as we approach Endgame. Endgame has begun. I think these teams are all going to opt for scoring more in the baskets and the chambers instead of hanging, but we might see if that strategy changes. Looks like Norwalk Gold content to just go get a level 1 ascent. They're touching that bar. Circuit Breakers going for yet another one on the high chamber. They've got it on. We've got teams communicating. 3, 2, 1. Time is up. Another high-scoring match from both alliances. Almost over 100 from both of our alliances. We saw a total of 14 specimens get scored on the high chambers, 9 for red and 5 for blue. We also saw multiple score in the high baskets. A lot of different ways to score. We didn't see any level 2 or level 3 hangs, but we had 2 teams park in the observation zones and 2 achieve level 1 ascents. Let's see the scores from that match. A lot of scoring for both. This will definitely help their rankings win or lose. It's going to help Red the most, though, with that win. 166-99. Both red teams move into the top 5 behind that 133-point teleop. Great teamwork exemplified by the Red Alliance. Blue as well, though. We saw them scoring in a variety of ways. We've seen a steady increase in our scores throughout the day, and I have no doubt that that will hold true in this match as well, where we have 4 more high-caliber teams. Let's meet the ones on red first, starting with Team 24438, Create the Future. And their alliance partner is Team 22189, Fire. Their opponents on the Blue Alliance, we have Team 18200, Martinsdale St. Mary's Techno Devils. And at the back of the field, we have their partners dressed in green, Team 13085, the Bionic Dutch. I'd like to note that our teams on the Blue Alliance are the host locations for our 3rd and 4th league meets. League meet 3 in 3 weeks will be in Pella, and our 4th league meet after the new year will be in Martinsdale. So make sure you have your calendars marked, and do not come here, do not come to Norwalk. We will be playing in some new locations, which is awesome to see. Looks like our teams are finalizing setups. We've got a few last-minute adjustments being made on red. Sounds like they're good to go. Red Alliance, are you ready? Fire, Create the Future, are you guys ready for this match? Good enough for me. A little lacking in the energy department. I think the audience is going to have to make up for it. Blue Alliance, are you ready? They've got the energy. Our scorekeeper is ready. So let's begin the match in 3, 2, 1, go. Seeing some movement over on blue. Bionic Dutch, I know what they're going to do. 1 in the high basket. It's worked every time. I have yet to see it fail today. Very good at that task. Fire goes flying into the wall and parks in the observation zone. It's worth 3 points, but it's a bit of a fast autonomous period when you have 30 seconds to achieve that task. Our scoring is done for this autonomous period.
Drivers, pick up your controllers. 3, 2, 1.
All right, looks like that auto period did not result in any robots being incapacitated. They are all moving now. They're ready to score here in the teleop. Fire is going for one off of the wall over in the observation zone. Their human players trying to line it up so they can pick it up efficiently and then score it on that high chamber. Bionic Dutch at the back of the field, though, over on blue. They got another one in that high chamber. They've got one in their robot, and they've dropped it off into the high basket as well. We've got 2 teams going for high ones. Yep, there we go. We got one from Fire on the Red Alliance side and one from the Techno Devils for blue. Meanwhile, on red, we haven't seen anyone attempt the high basket, but Create the Future has shown us today that they're very good at that low basket. Each one of those gets them 4 points, and they're going for their 3rd one of the match. Like they're trying to articulate their wrists. They got it in there. Fire now going for a second one on the high chamber as Bionic Dutch is reaching into the submersible. They're the only team I've seen do it this match. They're trying to find either a yellow or a blue sample. Their partner, they're trying to get one on that high chamber. Red just got one on the high chamber. We'll have to see if blue can match it. They've switched gears. They might try the low chamber now. Worth a little less points, but a little easier to reach. They've got it now. Clipped on there as we approach the end game. Those clutch high baskets and high specimens are getting them the lead. Endgame has begun. We've got ourselves another fairly close match. Blue has scored a lot in the high basket. That's making the difference as they go for another. However, red gets one on the high chamber as blue does the same. Looks like Create the Future might be going for a hang. We've seen them go for it before, but we'll have to see if they get off the ground this time. 5 seconds left. We've got Fire going for one more. Same for the Techno Devils. Create the Future is up in the air. Our teams were rushing to get to their parking locations at the end. We almost had Create the Future up off the ground, but it came down at the last second. Don't know if they got those 15 points for being off the ground. All right, looks like our scores are in for that match. We're seeing a lot more clean matches as we proceed throughout the event. Let's see if that one truly was without penalties. We would love to see it. It's going to go to blue with a score of 87-66. Indeed, no fouls. That's what we love to see. Bionic Dutch back into second place. We've had a lot more clean matches as these teams get more familiar with the rules and gain better control of their robots. Let's see if that happens again on field 2. Our teams look like they're already good to go. Let's meet our teams for the Red Alliance, where we have team 9974 Thor. And their partner is team 7823 Roadrunner Robotics. Their opponents representing blue are teams 6147 Nubotics and team 18527 PCM Alchemists. Looks like we're getting a few last-minute additions to the Red Alliance driver box. A couple people late to the field. Looks like our teams are finally ready. We've had a few close calls today, but we have seen all of our teams make it to the field, which is always a good sign. All right. Red Alliance, are you ready? Good enough for me. Blue Alliance, are you ready? They seem a lot more ready. I hope you guys are ready. Scorekeeper is not ready yet. We'll wait a second then. There's always some technical issues that arise when we come to a new facility, but this has been a great venue for us, and we hope to return next year. All right, we are ready now. Let's begin the match in 3, 2, 1, go. I see 1, now 2 robots moving. New box parking in the observation zone. Thor doing what they've done all day. That's getting 1 in the high basket. Going for a second now. We'll have to see if they can get it up into that high basket with that fast lift of theirs. They've got 2 now. Will they go for 3? Looks like they are. Let's see if they can get it done in time. It's in their robot now. Just a few seconds left. Will they get there in time? They will.
Drivers, pick up your controllers. 3, 2, 1.
Thor using every available second of that autonomous period to get 3 samples into that high basket as they pick up the one that they left behind and are now scoring that one in the high basket. Blue matches them, though. The PCM Alchemists just got one of their own in the high basket. They know that they have some scoring to do, but they've been a very fast robot before, so we know that they can be capable again, as their partner, Nubotics, tries to suck up a yellow sample that they had preload at the start of the match. Over on red, Thor trying to suck up a red sample to put in that basket, while their alliance partner, Roadrunner Robotics, is trying to push some of those red samples over into the observation zone. We've got blue teams calling for FTA, trying to get some help with reconnecting their robot. As long as it's not a hardware issue, our volunteers can go help them out and get their robot reconnected so that they can keep scoring. We've seen scoring in both baskets by the PCM Alchemists. Looks like they're opting for high here. They've got it in there. Red matches, though, with one in the high basket of their own. They've been pretty quick this match. Let's see if it's enough to win them the match. Right now, score of 80-23 as we approach 45 seconds to go. Looks like Nubox got some help from the FTA and are running once again. Thor getting one from the observation zone. I hear calls for the FTA again. We've got some technical issues as I see 2 of our robots not moving very much right now. Another one in the high basket. As we enter Endgame, we've seen a team reach into the submersible for the first time. Looks like the Alchemists might be doing so as well. Like we might have one team trying to reconnect their robot, and actually 2, both Nubotics and Thor. Alchemists are the only team trying to score right now. They're trying to get one out of the submersible as they approach the end of this match. Less than 10 to go now. Looks like they're going to opt for a level 1 ascent. Just touch that bar. And as time expires, they touch the bar. That will get them 3 points for a level 1 ascent. Great job to all 4 teams. Had a number of disconnections in that match. Nubox called for the FTA a couple of times, and then looked like Thor was unable to move during the endgame until the dying seconds of the match. However, during teleop, they were still able to get 9 in the high basket, and right now that's got them the lead of this match. Like our referees are finishing tallying these scores. Once they're in, we will see what the final result was. We are good to go now. Let's see who won that match. Maybe not. Sounds like we might be making an edit to the score based off of foul. We want to be sure that we get these scores exactly right. Teams take great pride in the points they score, and many teams even create advanced spreadsheets to look at the data to see where they can optimize their designs. Sounds like we are all good now, so let's see if those scores are ready for us to go. All right, we're good to go now. We will see the score of that match. Who got the victory? It's going to go to the Red Alliance with a score of 107-28. Red gets a victory, moves 9974 into 9th place. Moving back to field 1, we've got 4 more teams queued up. We're beginning to close down this event. These teams know that they don't have a lot of opportunities left today. They want to get some very good scores while they can still play. Let's meet our teams for red. We're at the front. We have team 25957, the Quantum Igniters. And their alliance partner is team 14568, Norwalk Robo Warriors Gold. Their opponents on the Blue Alliance, Their sister team is Team 12783, Norwalk Robo Warriors Purple. And their alliance partner is Team 14172, Disco Duckbots. Once again, we have sister teams pitted against each other. There could definitely be some bragging rights on the line for this match. Sounds like we are good to go. I'll ask one more time. Red Alliance, are you ready? Blue Alliance, are you ready? Our scorekeeper is not ready. Now we are. So let's begin the match in 3, 2, 1, go. A very high-stakes match for everyone affiliated with the Norwalk teams. Looks like Purple has one in the high basket, but Gold gets one on the high chamber. It's stuck upside down somehow, but that still scores as 10 points for Red. We've got both Red teams sliding back and forth, kind of like doing the cha-cha slide. We've got some going in the net zone, and we've got some going in the observation zone. Those ones in the observation zone don't score, but it could help them later on to do more scoring.
Drivers, pick up your controllers. 3, 2, 1.
Red's got the lead right now thanks to both robots using all 30 seconds of that autonomous period. But both blue robots have shown today that they are very capable. We'll see what these teams can do in teleop because that will definitely make the difference here. Norwalk already gets one in the high basket. I should specifically say Norwalk Purple because Norwalk Gold just got one in the low basket. Purple gets another one in the high basket, though. Their robot's working very well in this match. They've got another one picked up, and they're going to try to get yet another in the high basket as their partner, the Disco Duckbots, gets one on that high chamber. Quantum Igniters, they're grabbing a specimen off the ground with that new custom metal claw of theirs. They're going to try to get that on the high chamber as well. We've got 4 very versatile robots here. I've seen all of them score in a variety of ways today. Quantum Igniters have one in their claw now. They're trying to get that clip on. They've got it. 3 high chamber specimens for Red. Their partner, Norwalk Gold, now goes for the high basket and is successful. Tie game right now at 71. This match is very, very close. Quantum Igniters already grabbed another. They're going for one more. Let's see if they can get it on there. They've got it now as their partner gets another one in the high basket. Red takes the lead, but Norwalk Purple answers with one in the high basket for blue. Quantum Igniters has been very fast this match. They're going for their 5th specimen on the high chamber as we enter Endgame. They're going to try to clip it on there. They've got it now. Blue's going to answer, though. They've got one with a clip. That's the Disco Duckbots. Looks like they might be having some issues right now. We'll see if they can get that scored. Norwalk Purple gets one in the high basket. Norwalk Gold trying to do the same, though, knowing they want those bragging rights against their sister team. Less than 10 to go now. Teams are making some last-minute efforts. A specimen comes off, but it gets scored again as time begins to expire. A very, very close match. A lot of scoring by all 4 of our teams. Let's give them a big round of applause. It was a very balanced scoring effort from all of our alliances. We saw teams scoring on the high chambers and in the high baskets. Let's see what the score of that match was. Got some serious bragging rights on the line. This one is going to end up going to Red with a score of 111 to 87, moving Norwalk Robo Warriors Gold back into first place. A very powerful score from the Blue Alliance as well. Keeps them highly ranked. All right, our teams are now set up over here on field 2. Let's meet the ones on the Red Alliance, where first of all, we have team 26192 Heat Waves. And their partner is team 10435 Circuit Breakers. Their opponents on blue, our current second-ranked team, 18397 Aztecs. And their partner, one of our teams from here in West Des Moines, is team 22187 Air. Our teams are already set. Red Alliance, are you ready? Blue Alliance, are you ready? Our scorekeeper is ready, so let's begin the match in 3, 2, 1, go. Circuit Breakers wasting no time. We've seen them attempt that 4-specimen auto all day. We'll see if it works again. Air has one there on the high chamber. That does score, but it could get knocked off. It's hanging by a thread. Looks like it's going to stay, though, while their partner gets one more. Circuit Breakers, looks like they might be stuck on the wall while going for that second specimen. I saw that happen to them earlier. Let's see if they can get unstuck. They've decided to just stop their auto for now.
Drivers, pick up your controllers. 3, 2, 1.
Hurry-up has begun. Blues got a decent lead here, but all 4 of these teams have proven to be very capable at a variety of scoring methods so far. We know Circuit Breakers and Aztecs are both very good at scoring those specimens. Looks like that's the strategy they're going to use. Circuit Breakers is getting one off the wall now, going to get their second now on the high chamber if they can get that clip to stay on. They've got it now, but Aztecs gets the third for the Blue Alliance. Heat Waves going for one in the high basket. They use that extending arm mechanism to do so. Air's trying to grab an Alliance neutral yellow sample from the back of the field. They're trying to get it right now, but it looks like they're having some issues getting it into their robot as a third high chamber specimen goes on for red, and now a 5th for blue. We've got 3 teams reaching into the submersible at once. Circuit Breakers gets out first, followed by Aztecs, and Heat Waves not far behind with a yellow sample of their own. It's hanging by a thread, but they're going to the high basket as their partner goes to the high chamber. 1 in the high basket for blue, 1 in for red, and 1 on the high chamber for red. Red is mounting a comeback. They were down a little bit in auto, but they're only down by 7 now, and Circuit Breakers has just placed one on that high chamber to take the lead of this match with less than 40 seconds to go. Circuit Breakers going for another. Aztecs just shifted strategy now. They're going to the high basket. That's what their partner has been trying to do. Endgame has begun. It's all going to come down to if any teams hang and who can make some last-minute efforts here. Circuit Breakers gets one on the high chamber. Aztecs gets one in the high basket, though. Looks like Air's trying to get a hang. They've got their hook on the bar, but they just can't get off the ground right now. 10 seconds to go. Heat Waves gets one more in the high basket, and so does Aztecs. Circuit Breakers trying to get some more as time is running out. Controllers down. Let's get a round of applause for those teams. Both alliances over 125 points right now. Looks like blue had 6 specimens on that high chamber. Red had 7. Quite a few samples in the high baskets as well. 5 for blue currently, 6 for red. Looks like the difference right now was the auto for the Blue Alliance, but red might have done enough to come back. This will be close. All right, our scores are in. Let's see who won. That was a very close match. Valiant effort for both teams. They both deserve the win, but only one can get it, and that's red. 159-44. They were down in auto, but they came back with a 131-point teleop. Great job to both alliances. That was our first match of the day where both alliances crossed 100 points. We'll have to see if that happens again as we enter our last 5 matches. A lot of these teams are now playing for the last time today, so we know they're going to be wanting a win very badly to improve their ranking for today. Give them some data points to reflect on so that they can improve for the next meet in 3 weeks. That's quite a bit of time for them to work on their robots. So I'm sure a lot of these teams will be looking very different the next time we see them down in Pella. Let's meet our teams on the Red Alliance. Starting off with team 24438, Create the Future. And their alliance partner is team 16736, the Atomic Narwhals. Their opponents representing the Blue Alliance. Let's start off with team 24358, Metallimotorum. And their teammate is team 7823, Roadrunner Robotics. Our teams are finishing setup. Our field is already set up, courtesy of our volunteers. All the teams have to do is set their robots down, grab a sample or a specimen to preload if they so choose, and then prepare their autonomous programs. Again, teams do not have to run an auto if they do not want to, but that can get them a bunch of extra points if they do, so most teams opt to do so and often push their robots to the limits, trying to score as many points as possible. Sounds like our teams are all set to go. They already gave the thumbs up. Audience, are you ready? Our scorekeeper is ready, so let's begin the match in 3, 2, 1, go. Narwhals, we've seen a very good Thomas from them all day. They've got one in the high chamber. They're going for 2 now. Their partner, Create the Future, going for 1 in the low basket. They've got it in there now. Another 4 points for the Red Alliance. Narwhals has that second specimen now. 10 seconds left in auto. They're lining up, and they've got it on the high chamber. 20 points for Red, thanks to those high chamber specimens. Great scoring from Red.
Drivers, pick up your controllers. 3, 2, 1.
I see both of our Blue Alliance robots moving very quickly in teleop, followed up by the red ones. Metallimotorum wasted no time. They've placed a specimen onto that low chamber. Narwhals, though, gets one on the high chamber for Red in the first 15 seconds of this teleop. They're going for more now. Their human player just lined one up on the wall. They've grabbed it now and are going back to the high chamber, where they just clipped it on for another 10 points. Blue answers, though, with one on the low chamber for Blue. Looks like Roadrunner Robotics, they're trying to shove them into the observation zone. They can't place them on the chambers, but they can move them around the field very fast. Narwhals, they've run out of red samples to use as specimens now, but instead they're grabbing the yellow ones and placing those in the high basket. Looks like their partner, Create the Future, has just been setting them in front of the basket for the Narwhals to come get and then score in quick succession, which they are doing right now as we approach a minute to go in this match. 1 minute to go now. Red is almost over 100 points already. Narwhals going up and into the high basket. 8 more points for Red. They've got another one in their grasp now. Going up again. Narwhals just does not stop scoring. Already over 100 points for Red as we approach Endgame. Metallimotorum for Blue. They're trying to use that rotating wheel assembly. They've got one in their claw now. And trying to get the low chamber. They've got it. As Endgame begins, Red has a fairly sizable lead. Blue's trying to do some last-minute scoring onto that low chamber to try to make up some of the difference. But Create the Future is thinking about what they want to do. They've hung before. Let's see if they can get to the bar in time. Narwhal's trying to line up, grab one. All 4 of our robots at the front of the field right now. About 5 seconds left. Let's see what can be done. Narwhal's going to park. Create the future, trying to get off the ground. And they get it this time. A level 2 ascent for the Red Alliance. 15 points in their favor. Hey, get out of the field. The friendly reminder, teams are not allowed to enter the field until scores have been posted or they've been given approval by the referees. Don't want any of the scoring to be accidentally undone. Sounds like our referees have finalized the scoring for that match. We're just explaining to the teams what all the rulings were. All right, our scores are in. Let's see who won that match. One's going to go to the Red Alliance with a score of 149-24. Narwhals move into the top 5. And just to note, no fouls were issued for entry into the field at the end of the match. Only a verbal warning is issued. However, repeated offenses can escalate to a yellow card. We are now into our last 4 qualification matches. Over here on field 2, we've got a lot of teams playing for the last time today. Let's start on red, where we have team 25957, the Quantum Igniters. And their partners, team 10435, Circuit Breakers. On the Blue Alliance, we've got team 18200, Martinsville St. Mary's Techno Devils. And their alliance partner is team 9974, Thor. I know all of these teams are very capable of scoring at a high clip and have very high scoring autonomous periods. So audience, I want to hear you cheering during this match, okay? Sounds great. Red Alliance, are you ready? Blue Alliance, are you ready? Scorekeeper is ready, so let's begin the match in 3, 2, 1, go. I see 4 robots moving. 2 of these robots have very capable autos. Circuit Breakers already has one on the high chamber. Thor has one in the high basket. We'll see if Thor can get that 3 high basket auto and if Circuit Breakers can get 4 on the high chamber. Thor has 2 now. Looks like Circuit Breakers might be stuck, but their partner, the Quantum Igniters, has gotten 3 into the net zone. Thor going for their 3rd now. And they get it before time runs out.
Drivers, pick up your controllers. 3, 2, 1.
19-point lead for Blue, but this match is far, far from over. These teams have proven that they are some of the best so far. Thor already gets one in the high basket, but the Circuit Breakers are going for another one onto that high chamber. That's what they do best. Thor has a blue one now. They're going back to the high basket. Looks like their partner, the Techno Devils, might be just grabbing them out of the submersible to give to their partner, Thor. The Quantum Igniters, they've got a lot of those yellow samples in front of them. They've got that custom metal claw. They're going to try to use those, drop them into their bucket, and then go towards the baskets. Circuit Breakers gets another one onto the high chamber as Thor gets one into the high basket. Those ones on the high chamber are worth 10 as opposed to just 8 for the Blue Alliance getting the high basket. 1 minute, 10 seconds left in this match. Blue still leads, and Thor just keeps scoring into that high basket. Quantum Igniters, they were able to get one in that high basket. Now they're going for another. They're slowly lifting up, and they've got 2 now. Circuit Breakers doing those specimens still. They've got one off the wall. They're going over to the high chamber. They've got it now. Looks like the Techno Devils have put one in the net zone. Thor might be having some connection issues. We've seen those pop up throughout the day. Their partner, the Techno Devils, might be reaching around them, though, and going for the low basket, not letting their opponent slow them down. Or, excuse me, their partner is disconnected. As we enter Endgame, Circuit Breakers almost gets one on the high chamber, but unfortunately misses. Techno Devils has been very, very fast at getting out of the submersible. They just got another one and dropped it for their partner to go score. Circuit Breakers going for another one on the high chamber. That would be their 4th one this match. Looks like we've still got a lot of scoring. No one's going for hang. They want as many samples and specimens as they can get. 4 seconds left. Teams are starting to run out of time. Let's see if they can do anything else. And time is up. Scores over 80 points for both Alliance. Blue Alliance did not do any scoring on those chambers. Instead, they prioritized the basket. They have 11 in the high basket and 1 in the low basket. Red was a little more diverse with their scoring. They've got 2 in the high basket and 4 on the high chamber right now. Like our blue side referees are finalizing the scoring. There's so many samples in that basket, they've kind of lost track of how many are in there. All right, our scores are in. Let's see who won that match. Quite a bit of scoring. Winner of this match is going to be the Blue Alliance with a score of 122 to 83. Both blue robots move into the top 10, but both red robots stay in the top 10. Those were 4 of our most capable teams, and they showed it in that match. Central Iowa is always one of the most competitive leagues, and over here on Field 1, I know we've got 4 more very capable teams. Let's meet our teams on the Red Alliance. First of all, we have Team 14172, Disco Duckbots. And their alliance partner is Team 16736 Atomic Narwhals. Both of those teams are from Johnston. I know they've worked together a lot in the past. We'll see if it goes well. Over on blue, their opponents. First of all, we've got Team 22189 Fire. And their partner is Team 26192 Heat Waves. Our FTA is ensuring that both the red and now the blue alliances are ready. Sounds like we've got a thumbs up from our scorekeepers. Let's begin the match in 3, 2, 1, go. See multiple robots moving. Narwhal's very quick, one of the quickest autos. They've got one on the high chamber. Fire trying to get one as well, but it looks like they might have driven a little too far. They're doing a handstand with their robot. That lift. Oh. And we've got Fire now stopping their auto as Narwhals gets one on the high chamber again. 5 seconds left. Looks like all of our robots have stopped. We'll have to see if Fire can stand back up.
Drivers, pick up your controllers. 3, 2, 1.
Looking at Fire here, seeing if they can stand back up. They're a little stuck between those two bars right now. They're still on their wheels. Let's see if they can maneuver out of there. Narwhals get one in the high basket for red. Duckbots, their partner, gets one for red. And Fire is now unstuck from that high chamber bar. They're ready to do more scoring now. They've got a little ground to make up as their partner, the Heat Waves, gets a second one in the high basket for blue. Narwhals matches with one for red, though. Those two Johnson teams working very well in tandem, getting the specimens and the samples. Fire, now that they've gotten disconnected, they got that blue specimen. Fortunately, they dropped it. They're going to have to go grab another one from their human player station. Minute and 10 seconds left in this match. Heat Waves going for one in the high basket once again, proving to be one of the best teams at the high basket today. Narwhals reaching into the submersible. They usually do specimens, but this match they're opting for the high basket and are letting their partners, the Duckbots, do those specimens. Proving to be a very smart decision as both teams are scoring very quickly. There goes a specimen for red and one in the high basket for red. Blue answers, though. Heat Waves get one of their own as we start to approach the end game. Red's got a lead right now, but Fire is coming back with one blue specimen. They've got it on that high chamber. It's not clipped on, but it still scores points. Just gotta be careful that it does not fall off during this endgame period. We've got two teams reaching into the sub, maybe three now. Looks like Duckbots are trying to get in there as well. They're trying to find some samples. We're beginning to run out around the field. Heat Waves gets one in the high basket. Fire gets one in the high chamber for blue. Trying to mount a comeback with less than 10 seconds to go. Narwhal is going for the high basket. 3, 2, 1. Time is up. All of our teams moving until the very last millisecond, trying to get some points. Both of our Blue Alliance robots were able to get some form of navigating points. Fire got 3 from being in the observation zone, and Heat Waves got 3 for getting a level 1 ascent. That is just touching that bar. Either red robot was able to park, but instead they opted to go for more points in that high basket, which right now is giving them a 50-point edge. Sounds like our referees are discussing some possible fouls on the Blue Alliance. An important rule is that the human players cannot be touching the clip of that specimen while the robot is also touching it. So although the human player is not breaking the vertical plane of the field, there's still a risk there of injury. So penalties can be assessed for that. But when these teams are trying to push for every additional point, there is some risk of fouls. So that's just something they have to be careful of as they go for those points. I would also like to remind everyone that we will do a team picture after the conclusion of matches. So after match 27 ends, here in the stands, we will do a team picture with all the teams and their robots. So do not leave just yet. Feel free to pack up, but do not leave yet. All right, we are now ready to see the score from qualification match number 25. Let's see who won that one. Red scored a lot, but so did blue. The winner is going to be red, with a score of 166-88. That thrust the Narwhals into first place behind a 136-point teleop. We've already been seeing this year that most teams score a bulk of their points in teleop, but auto and fouls can also make a big difference, and that will inevitably hold true as we progress throughout the season. We are now getting set up for our last match on Field 2. Our penultimate match of the day. Let's meet our teams on red, where we have team 18397 Aztecs. And their partner is team 14568 Norwalk Robo Warriors Gold. Both of those teams are ranked in the top 3, but we've got some very tough opponents on the Blue Alliance, starting with team 22187 Air. Their partner is team 13085 Bionic Dutch. Our field is set. Our referees look ready. Red Alliance, are you ready? Blue Alliance, are you ready? Our scorekeeper is ready, so let's begin the match in 3, 2, 1, go. Once again, a variety of strategies here in Autonomous. Bionic Dutch doing the same thing as always, going for the high basket. Norwalk Gold gets one on the high chamber, as does their partner, the Aztecs. Looks like Air was trying to get one as well, but the robot has stopped for now. We'll have to see if it backs up and lets go of that precious specimen. Aztecs just grabbed one off the field. They're going for the high basket. Haven't seen them do that today. They've got one in the low basket now as we end auto.
Drivers, pick up your controllers. 3, 2, 1.
As we enter teleop, blue is already over 50 points thanks to those 2 specimens and 1 sample in the low basket. Bionic Dutch quickly going into that high basket. They've got a yellow sample in there now. Those are worth 8 points each. Red answers, though. That's the Robo Warriors Gold, getting one of their own in the high basket. Bionic Dutch, though, they do this very well. They've got another one almost in there. Instead, it falls to the net zone. Still worth 2 points, but I know they want more because they want to win this match very badly. It looks like the Blue Alliance is using a bit of a feeder robot strategy. That is, Air has been pushing samples over in front of the Bionic Dutch so that they can pick them up very easily. Red, though, doing a lot of those specimens. Aztecs just got a 3rd for this match and just picked up a 4th as well. Let's see if they can get it clipped on. And they've got it. 40 points for Red as a red sample goes flying far out of the field. No penalty there, at least to my knowledge, but they have to be careful that they aren't launching those. See a red team trying to reach into the submersible. They've got a red sample right in front of them. They've got a grasp on it now. Let's see if this one goes flying out. It falls to the ground instead as their partner, the Aztecs, shifts to the high basket and nets their alliance another 8 points. Bionic Dutch does the same for blue, though. Air and Bionic Dutch working very well in tandem, having Air feed the Dutch as they go up for that high basket. We're almost in Endgame. As we enter Endgame, we've got ourselves a high-scoring match once again. We've seen a number throughout the day. Red over 100. Blue trying to get there. Red is getting back-to-back samples in the high basket. Blue gets another one, though. And Air is in the air. They are clearly off the ground and have a level 2 ascent if they can stay up. Their partner, the Aztecs, just got more in that high basket. 3, 2, 1. And as time expires, Air stays up. And it looks like Red has a bit of an edge right now. We'll see if that holds as our refs finalize the scores. Looked like we had the Norwalk Robo Warriors Gold going for a level 2 hang there. The robot is on its back right now, but it did not get off the ground from what I could tell. However, Air at the back of the field is very soundly off the ground. That's going to be 15 points for the Blue Alliance. Sounds like we are all good to release the score for that match. Let's see how high both of our alliances got in their scoring efforts. Sample is in. This one's going to go to Red with a score of 151 to 110. Very high scores from both of our alliances in that penultimate match, with both of them breaking the 100-point barrier. That moves both Red robots into the top 2 positions in our league rankings. That could prove crucial for them later down the road at the league tournament. But now that that match is done, we move to Field 1 for our 27th and final qualification match of the day. Let's meet our teams. Starting off on Red, where we have Team 12783, Norwalk Robo Warriors Purple. And their alliance partner is Team 6147, Nubotics. On the Blue Alliance, we have Team 24358, Metallum Ultorum. And their alliance partner is Team 18527, PCM Alchemist. Our volunteers are verifying that everyone is ready. We've called for hands off. I'll check one last time since it's our last match. Red Alliance, are you ready? Blue Alliance, are you ready? Audience, are you ready for the last match? Then let's begin in 3, 2, 1, go. Our last match of the day has begun. This is the end of our second league meet. Norwalk Purple gets one in the high basket. Looks like we have 2 teams parking in the observation zones. One on red, one on blue. That's Nubotics and Metallum Ultorum. I don't see any motion yet. Teams are able to program delays into their autonomouses, though, if they want to wait until later to score. Looks like they're all content, though. I can hear them strategizing about what they want to do during the teleop period so that they can win.
Drivers, pick up your controllers. 3, 2, 1.
All these teams have been fighting throughout the day. They would love to end with a win. I see 3 robots moving. Looks like Nubotics might be facing some connection issues, but their partner already has one picked up. That's 12783, Norwalk Purple. They're going for the high basket, while their opponents go for one on the high chamber. That's the PCM Alchemist. Norwalk gets one in the high basket. PCM just drops theirs, but they can go grab that again if they want to try scoring it elsewhere. Norwalk has another one in their robot. They're trying to grab it with their claw. They're the only robot moving on their alliance right now. They know that they need these points to win. They've got it in the high basket now. Let's see if they go for that last yellow one at the front. Indeed they do. They've sucked it up. They're going to try to grab it now. That would be their 4th one in the high basket, which would be 32 points for the Red Alliance if they can pull it off. They've got it going up now, and they've dropped it in. Looks like Blue Alliance robots might be trying to play a little defense. They can't quite score as efficiently, but they know if they stop the opposing alliance from scoring, they could still have a chance. PCM Alchemist still trying to score for Blue. They're going for the high basket. They've got it in there. 8 points for Blue. It looks like their partner Metallum Mortorum might be getting some penalties for defense if they aren't careful. They got to make sure they're not being egregious in their defensive efforts. Norwalk still gets one in that high basket, though, despite that defense as we enter Endgame. Norwalk still the only red robot moving, but they've been able to get over 50 points. They've got another one. They're going for the high basket. Let's see if they can get it done before time runs out. About 15 seconds left. PCM is trying to match Norwalk with one, the high basket of their own. Audience, I want to hear you. There's not much time left in this meet. Norwalk Purple got one in their robot. 5 seconds left. They're heading to the high basket. 3, 2, 1. And Norwalk doesn't get there in time. Ladies and gentlemen, give those teams a hand. That was our last match. And one last reminder, grab your robots and your team and come out here to the gym. We will do a photo of all of the teams so that we can remember the great event we had here today at Valley Southwoods. And on that note, remember that our next league meet in 3 weeks is not here, and it is not in Norwalk either. It is in Pella. Make sure you mark your calendars accordingly. Unfortunately, it's seeming like our last match might not have been foul-free, but we had a lot of those throughout the day. Very happy that teams have been learning about the game, reading the competition manual, and learning how to avoid penalties while still scoring a lot of points and trying to play a bit of defense as well. Sounds like the debate amongst our referees right now is in regard to blocking. Metallum Mortorum was not able to score any points due to a mechanism on their robot not functioning. But instead of just deciding to sit down and park in the observation zone, they were trying to play defense on the opposing alliance. There are some very unique rules regarding defense, and our referees are trying to determine if that was enough to incur a foul or not. Not sure if that will affect the result of this match right now, but it could potentially affect rankings and how teams' scores are being calculated. After a lengthy discussion, the referees have decided what fouls to issue, and we are now ready to see our scores for the last match. In our last match, it was an interesting one. It's going to end up going to the Red Alliance with a score of 67-25. One minor foul assessed to Blue for that blocking action that was performed. And with that, our event for today has concluded. All 27 matches are over. So we will see you all again in 3 weeks in Pella for our third league meet and our last one before the winter break. We hope to see all of you there. These teams will have improved a lot more. The scores will continue to go up, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Thank you for coming today. Have a great rest of your day.